Excellent, thank you. Has anybody got anything additional to add, or does anyone want to comment on the report? Mark, Bousfield, anybody?
Could I just I'd just like to add briefly the three firsts that are present in this joint venture. So there's one first around the way we're using dig once and using roadworks to make digital connectivity affordable. The second is a first around a commercial joint venture of this type, which hasn't happened in this country before as far as we're concerned. And the third is the way we've been able to connect not just the city centre, not just the city, but the whole city region. That's also without precedent in the UK. So three significant firsts there.
Yeah, excellent. Anybody else?
Steve?
Yeah, jump in. I can't see who it is.
Yeah, Steve, it's Rob.
Sorry, Rob.
I think it's an excellent project, and I think it's going to be, obviously it's futuristic, and it'll be so much handy for those new companies coming into the city region. So I think we're ahead of the game on this one, so let's get it started and really support it. Really good.
Yeah, and the good news is, of course, it has already started. That's exciting, because we've already got cable in the ground, and not just in the ground, across the water, but we'll tease out some more of that, I'm sure, over the next few weeks. Anybody else? No? Okay, then can we agree the recommendations are set out on page 145, please?
Agreed.
Agreed.
13 is the Northwest Local Energy Hub programme, and it's about a report that asks us to receive an additional £800,000 from central government to support the continuation of that Northwest Local Energy Hub programme. And Councillor Powell, you're going to take us through this report.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Obviously, in November, the Combined Authority approved that it would receive 52.8 million of Green Home grant funding for the northwest of England to improve the home energy efficiency of lower income households. The city region share of that funding was 11.3 million. Today's paper recommends that the funding is allocated to each LEP area in the northwest. This is based on a percentage share of the population, fuel poverty and homes with poor energy performance. The government's intention is that the funding is spent this year. This is an important economy recovery measure which will help stimulate local supply chains and create jobs while supporting our net zero carbon target. The Combined Authority is managing this funding as the host of the Local Energy Hub for the North West. It is coordinating the city region activity and developing proposals for joint procurements in delivery of the city region allocation. This paper also notes additional funding for the hub so that it can continue operational until March 2023. And I move the recommendations on page 151, Chair. Happy to take questions.
Thanks, Rob, and well done for soldiering on with the background noise. Sounded like somebody was wrapping a chicken in BACKHAUL foil and sticking it in the oven then. Might be a tea for tonight, Rob. So if there are any questions for Rob, he'll be happy to provide further details. No. Asif, no. Okay. So we'll agree the recommendation. Go on.
Sorry, I was struggling to get off mute there. Yeah, I just think it's a great initiative. I think it's something that's worked really well. I think the CA and the LEP have worked really well on trying to get these funds through, and I think there's an opportunity here. It's a growing arena, is the energy arena, and I think as long as we can carry on delivering, there's more opportunity. So I highly recommend it. I think it's one we need to keep committing to and watching and seeing what's going on in this space. So well done to all involved in it.
Yeah, thanks, Asif. I agree with those comments. Can we agree the recommendations on page 151?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay. 14 then is the Q3 financial performance report, and John Fogarty, who's our Director of Corporate Services, is going to take us through that report. It now sounds like somebody's bouncing the ball as well. I don't know. I've checked, honestly, all of those mics are all on mute. So if one of our IT people can find out where the extraneous noise is coming from, that'd be really helpful. Okay, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, this report is the third quarter of the current year. It's the budget position measured against the revisions to the budget that the Combined Authority made in November. There are a number of variances up and down within the revenue budget, but on the whole, the position is largely as you agreed in November. There are no shocks with it. There are no shocks contained within it, nor do we anticipate any further shocks before the end of the current financial year. I think it shows a picture of that the organisation is managing its budgets despite the difficulties and uncertainties around COVID, and its revenue and its capital position are as shown in the paper. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have as a result of the report.
Anyone got any questions for John? It's good news, isn't it, that there are no shocks, and that we are able, despite COVID and everything else that's hit us, to still manage the budgets. Is everyone content with that?
Chair.
Okay, we agree the recommendations on page 157.
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you. 15 then is various appointments and governance update, and it's the final report, but it takes into consideration a number of governance issues, and Jill Cool's going to take us through that.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, sometimes the mute button just doesn't do what you want it to do when you want it to do it. So this item that's presented to you today, Mr. Mayor, has 3 issues contained in it. The first issue is to appoint Councillor Sarah Doyle to the Overview Scrutiny Committee following the resignation of Councillor Joanne Anderson from LCC. The third issue is to note some decisions that have been taken by the Chief Executive in the intervening period in between meetings. Jumping back, if I may, to the second issue, what's come to our attention is that a number of councils want to be involved in the decision-making process that's going through the Appointments and Disciplinary Committee next month. To facilitate that decision-making, we're seeking to extend the membership so that substitutes can be included. They weren't currently provided for, on the basis that for a quorum we only need 3 out of the 7 members. But in the circumstances, we're asking for all of the people who are currently substitutes for the Combined Authority to become substitutes for the Appointments of Disciplinary Committee. Now that works for all of the councils apart from Sefton, who for a range of reasons doesn't help them during the month of March. So what we've suggested is that an additional recommendation be presented to you today. And that additional recommendation would be as follows. To note that for the Appointment and Disciplinary Committee meetings due to take place in March 2020, Sefton wish to appoint an alternative representative, and that representative will be Councillor Trish Hardy. Following this period, the substitute will be set out as in section 4 of the report, which would normally be Councillor Fairclough. So with your permission, Mr. Mayor, those 3 recommendations as printed and the additional recommendation that I've just read out, if they could be agreed, in respect of the recommendation regarding the Appointments and Disciplinary Committee, both those recommendations, the additional recommendation and the new recommendation need to be agreed unanimously. And apparently I said March 2020 when I really meant March 2021.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I think most people picked up on. Yeah,
Sorry.
okay, so it's about alternates, and it's about a temporary alternate for Sefton. Are we all agreed? Because again, this is something that needs unanimous approval. So the recommendation on page 175, but recommendation for recommendation B.
I agree, Chair. Rob Pollow.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed.
Agreed, Chair.
Great. Okay. Good news. Thanks, Jill. We're then on item 16, Trudy.
Hi, Metro Mayor. Yes, we haven't received any public questions.
And item 17, Trudy.
Again, yes, we haven't received any petitions or statements.
Okay, can I thank you all for your indulgence in this meeting. It, as always, it's gone completely without incident and very, very smooth. We have got another meeting before the municipal elections, the mayoral elections, the Police and Crime Commission elections and everything else. So that next meeting of the LCR Combined Authority will be on Friday the 19th of March 2021, Jill, at 1 o'clock. With that said, I'll draw the meeting to a close and thank you all for your attendance, but also just to pay tribute to all of those people who work in IT departments behind the scenes for everything that they've been able to do. And it's simple, isn't it? Burn, Graham, Morgan's computer. That's the solution. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, Chair.
Cheers, bye.